If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
So yesterday we started with the concept of, we see that what is Workday, what all module Workday offers, what are the job trend, what is the salary things, and when we talk about Workday training, we are going to see. So today we are going to talk about the first chapter, which is core concepts and basic navigations. Because core concepts and basic navigation means when you get into Workday, what all things to be considered. Okay, because when you don't know how to navigate, then it really becomes tough for any consultant to configure something. So today we are going to talk about core concepts and basic navigation, how to navigate into Workday, what are the terminologies used, how to search something, how to look out for any information. So we are going to deep dive into core concepts and basic navigations. So let me share my screen and then we will move on with our core concepts. Yes, as disclaimer goes, just go over the disclaimer. Okay. So the agenda for the day is like, we are going to talk about overview, what is business object, basic navigations and landing pages. And from today onwards, we'll start using tenant and the combination would be 20-80, 20% presentation and 80% activity. And all the activities are interrelated to each other. So if you miss one activity, then the other part may get hampered. So we need to make sure that we are in line with the activities, because activities is a real hands-on experience where you get to know about how to configure the thing in Workday. Okay. Yes. Core concepts. So the first topic which we are going to talk about is supervisory organization. Okay, what does supervisory organization do? So we are going to talk about the first concept is supervisory organization, and the first line says, this is the foundation of Workday HCM. This type of org group workers into a management hierarchy. Now, see guys, supervisory organization is foundation to HCM. Since we are learning HCM, so what is the foundation of HCM? Supervisory organization. Okay, what does supervisory organization do? Supervisory organization is a management hierarchy. So what is management hierarchy? Who reports to who? In any organization, you go for any organization, small scale industry, medium size, enterprise, you go for any organization, you will see this kind of structure is always there. Management hierarchy, who reports to who? Okay, I am reporting to my manager is reporting to his manager, and so on. So what happens? Management hierarchy in Workday is called as supervisory organization, and such organization is called as supervisory organization, and it is the foundation. If I say I don't have supervisory organization, then there is no point of understanding HCM. The foundation to HCM is supervisory organization. What does it do? It is a management hierarchy. Okay. Staffing model. What is the staffing model? Guys, what does the word staffing mean? Staffing means how are you going to hire an employee? Okay, so that is staffing. How you're going to staff your employees into your organization. So it says, define how jobs and positions are created and filled in supervisory organization. Okay. Guys, as I mentioned yesterday, that each organization has their own way of staffing an employee. For an example, Amazon says, hey, I need 5 steps to complete hire. Samsung says, I need 10 steps to hire. So what happens? They both are using Workday, but what is the difference? The process is different, right? So it happens that every organization has their own way of configuring the application, and that application and that thing is called as staffing models. Okay. Job profile. Now guys, when we apply to a position, right, we apply to a position, but each position has a job description, and that job description, if our profile is matching to that job description, we apply to that position, right? So job description in Workday is called as job profile. Now let's say I am applying to a position where they are looking out for Oracle HCM. I don't carry Oracle HCM experience, I am Workday experience. So obviously, if they specifically mention that, hey, I am looking out for Oracle HCM, then obviously, even though I'm applying, my resume is not going to shortlist it. So what happens? Job profile determines the characteristic and the feature for jobs and positions. So when I apply to a position, it doesn't mean that I should blindly apply to all the positions. I have to make sure that what are the requirements given, whether I am minimum to minimum, I should be matching 70% of the requirement. Then only I can think of applying to that position, or else my request will be discarded. Okay. And guys, you see here, what all things I am explaining here is the one-liner definition for now, but all of these one-liner will become a chapter, will become an activity throughout our training. Yes, when we hire an employee, hiring is not the only thing. We need to give a compensation, right? We need to make sure that the employee whom we are hiring are being given right rewards. So we are going to also configure compensation for our employees. So what we do, first we are going to create our hierarchy, who reports to who. Then we are going to define, hey, what is our staffing model? How are we going to staff an employee? Then we are determining what position and job we need. Once we determine position and job, then we are going to hire an employee. Once we hire an employee, obviously without compensation, no one is going to get hired into the organization. Then we will determine the compensation structure for our organization. Employee coming from India should get compensation in INR. Employee from US should get compensation in USD. So we are going to determine that thing. Security is very important part, right? Because you need to make sure that your data is controlled. It is not like that everyone can see any information. You have data privacy concept. You need to follow, adhere to the policy of data privacy, that hey, date of birth should not be visible to all the employees. So you need to do that. So how are we going to cope up with this part? We are going to have a security structure. So we are going to deal with security as well. And right from like start to finish, it is not like that we are going to have a presentation and a definition. We are going to have all of these things into an activity. Business process. Now guys, in normal terminology, business process is a workflow. Workflow means if I am hiring an employee, what is my workflow? So the workflow is like, I am going to start hiring, then HR partner will fill up the information, then compensation partner will give the compensation, then payroll will approve, then payroll partner will give the pay group. So what happens? In the business process, I am determining the sequence of steps. What step will come after what? Okay. So that is a workflow. Now, business object. Well, as I mentioned, in Workday is a object-oriented application. Means each field is an object and you can go to the related options. Okay, what does Workday object means? Workday uses a very powerful object action model that drives navigation and reporting. Yes, we are going to see that in our core concept, that when I say object, what does that object means? Workday stores data as business object. So whatever data we see in Workday, we see first name, we see last name, all of these fields stored information into business object, and there are several business objects. Now guys, business object in RDBMS concept is a table. If I talk about SQL from like in SQL terminology, so in SQL we see data is stored into a table. Same concept, but in Workday it is not table, it is business object. So we do have different business objects where our data get stored. For an example, organization is a business object, worker is a business object, positions is a business object. Okay, Workday automatically link related business object together. Now, related business object is a child table. What happens? You cannot have one huge table and all the data is stored in that table. So what you say to the, like for getting the performance and to store the data separately, we do have a concept of child table. So child table concept in Workday is called as related business object. So you see here, worker is my primary business object, a primary table, and associate to my primary table, I have different related business object, different child table. So addresses, compensation, absence, security, position. Position is further segregated into roles and job profiles. Job profiles are further part of management and job classification. So what happens? My primary business object is associated with different related business object. Okay, so in Workday it is not a primary table and child table, it is primary business object and related business object. Okay, this is what our business object structure looks like. Okay, now we are going to move on to a navigation. We need to make sure that how are we going to navigation. So in navigations, we are going to talk about home, search, Workday icon, we'll move to profile, and we'll go on with all the items which has under profile. Okay, as I mentioned, it is 20% PPT and 80% tenant. So let's move on and see how are we moving with our tenants. So let me go back. And this is my Workday tenant. You will say that where is my ID and password? I've already given my ID and password. That is the reason I'm not showing you that screen, but I have given my ID and password. I have a link handy with me. I've used this link. I have given my ID and password, and then I'm logged in as Logan McNeil. Okay. So I'm using Logan McNeil access for my Workday. And this is my Workday tenant. Okay. This is my Workday tenant. Now guys, what tenant we are using? We are using GMS. See, GMS tenant. What does a GMS stands for?
Global Modern Services.
Correct. For what purpose we use Global Modern Services? Any idea?
For training purposes.
Correct. Do Workday have any employee called Logan McNeil in real time?
No, there is no real time.
Correct. All of the employee or all the information which we see in this tenant is only for practice.
Training purpose.
Only hypothetical data is there. Okay, so when I first log in and the page which I see is, if we say it is a home screen, but in Workday's terminology, it is a landing page. Okay, so we say that as soon as I give my ID and password, the screen which I see is my landing page. Okay, and guys, in my landing page, I have several segments, right? I have application, I have announcement, I have notification, I have inbox item. So all of these items is purely depend upon the kind of security access I have. When you get an access, you might have more options, you might have less options, but the options which I see here is purely defined basis on my security access. And guys, Logan McNeil is an HR administrator. That means she has all the access, and that is the reason I see all these items. But your access may be vary. If you have less or more access, the icons may vary, but yes, you can able to perform the activities. Okay, so our segment is divided into 3 parts. So what we are going to do, we are going to first talk about our ribbon section. So we are going to focus on this part first. We'll talk about home screen, we'll talk about our search bar, we'll talk about all of these items. This is our first segment, concept which are there on the ribbon. Then announcement part, then the application part, and finally we'll talk about the options which we see under profile. Okay, under profile, what all options we see, we are going to talk about that part. Okay, so our home screen has 4 segments, and we are going to go one by one. Okay, so let's start with the concept of our ribbon. What all items we have on our ribbon? Okay, so in my ribbon, I see home. Home means if you be on this page, and let's say you wanted to be on your home screen, directly click, it will take you to the home screen. Let me go back here. I click here. I click here. And I wanted to be on my home screen. Let it come. Okay, and if I want to go back to my home screen, I can simply click on home. So this is again a home button which will take me to the landing page. Irrespective of my item, wherever I may be on the page of the screen, it will directly take me to the landing page. So ever if you encounter that you are not on the right path, you can use this home button to take you to the landing page. Okay. Then you might have wondering that if you have used application, you say that we have menus and submenus concept, right? You see file, you will see insert, you will see message, but in Workday, you don't have menus and submenus. Then it is very hard to navigate, right? If I don't have menus and submenus, how I am going to navigate? If I wanted to search any information, how do I move? All such navigations would come from this search button or this search bar. This search bar is not a control F. This search bar, from this search bar, you can search all the tasks, all the reports, any information. So let's say I am looking out for Steve Morgan. See what happens when I type Steve Morgan. Let me misspell it. Okay, I'm not going to give the entire name. Then to Workday says, hey, basis on your search, if you're looking out for Steve Morgan, there is 3 information. See, 3 information. First, data is of an employee and other 2 are supervisory organization. So what happens when you search for any information in Workday? It is a predictive search. Predictive search means basis on your keyword, Workday will search for the information. Okay, let me look out for compensation. I say I am looking out for compensation. See, Workday says there are. Okay, now if I click on compensation, there are more than 150 items. But what Workday does, as a predictive search, Workday says, hey, I'll give you top 7 records. These are top 7 records. In case you see that, no, my report which I'm looking out for is not showing up here, no problem. You can simply press enter. And it will show all the options where compensation keyword is involved. See, compensation, it says 5 plus 126. There are 131 items where you see compensation. And when you search, your search is divided into 2 parts. Tasks and report and all of Workday. Okay. Task and report means that what is task and report? Any idea? When I say task, what is task and what is report?
Task means when we can search any information in search bar, and reports means any reports when we'll pull reports.
Okay, I'll just fine tune the definition. Task means when you want to input something. So when you add compensation, when you create security, when you create business process, all of these items are tasks. Report means data is already there in the tenant and you want to view the information. So task is inputting the data, report is getting the input data into an output. Okay, so that is task and report. Now you see that there are 126 items. You are getting confused. What happens if your item is at 99 record? So chances are very high that you might miss by scrolling down. So what Workday says, no problem. If you're looking out for compensation, you do see a category here. Now these categories are determined by Workday. We cannot change this. So Workday says, no problem. Use filter down. See, I see that you have 131 records, but you have a filter here. You say that, no, I am looking out for integration. So I'll click on integration. And it says, hey, there are 73 plus 5, 78 records. So it says by compensation, there are 78 items where the category is integration. Let's say organization. Basis on my filter, my output varies. Let's say drive. Okay, so this output vary depending upon my category. So in case you are stuck and you see that, no, I want to filter down based on the category, you can do that. Again, this is at time, this becomes very tedious task. If you want to only search for a business process, then it becomes very tough. So how you can do that? So Workday has a prefix concept. Prefix concept means, let's say BP : compensation.
There is no gap in after the estimate is not sir.
Not needed. See, space, you give space, no problem. Workday will manage that.
Okay.
See? So what I have done, now you see, all the item which I have searched is business process. There is no other item other than business process will show in my search. See, all the items. Why it is showing only business process? Because there is a prefix called BP. BP stands for business process. If I'm using a prefix colon and the keyword, then Workday will only show that keywords or that prefix information. You see, only business process. If I say RD colon compensation, RD stands for report definition, and you see all of these items are report. All of these, if I click, it is a report. Now you say that since you are Workday professional, you are experienced, you know what are these shortcuts. How would a newcomer will get to know that how many shortcuts are there? And guys, this shortcut is not like that. I am asking you to by heart this. During the course of the session, whatever shortcuts or whatever prefixes is needed, we will use them so that we get accustomed to this. But yes, there is a list of shortcut given by Workday. It is not like that I said that RD stands for report definition. Workday has a list of prefixes given, and to see that prefixes, you just type question mark in the search bar and hit enter. You can see all the items where you can look out for. So you see, let me look out for report. Okay, I say that I wanted to see what are the prefixes given by Workday. So RDT, you can search for reporting, custom report. If you want to search, you use RD, and all of these things are there. Okay, so here are the list of prefixes, and guys, you don't have to by heart all of them, because all of these prefixes, some are from supply, some are from finance, some are from benefits. So we are learning HCM, and we will use the shortcuts during the course of our session to make sure that we know the concept of prefixes. So in the search bar, what all things we can search? We can look out for tasks, we can look out for report, any item. Here, since why Workday doesn't have menus and submenus concept? Because what if you don't know the navigation? Let's suppose I say that, okay, go to payroll, under payroll, go to compensation, under compensation, you create compensation element. So what happens? This is my navigation. What happens if you forgot the navigation? Then it really becomes tough for any user to locate that item. So what happens every time if you have to navigate, you have to look out for the information, which is very a tedious ask. You have to every time have to be on your toes to make sure that you know the right path. So Workday says, what we see that it is very challenging for the users to navigate. So we will eliminate all the menus and submenus concept. We will only have a search bar concept. You type the keyword and Workday will show all the information. Even though if you are confused, there is a category. Based on the category, you can search for the item. Okay, so let's say I want to navigate to an employee's profile. Now I'm talking about business object. Okay, I want to talk about Steve Morgan. So my HR comes, or I wanted to see that what is the profile of Steve Morgan. So what I'll do, I'll simply look out for Steve Morgan. Okay, if I directly click on Steve Morgan, his profile will automatically open. And I see clear information that, hey, Steve Morgan is on leave. He is working as Chief Executive Officer. He is coming from San Francisco. He is reporting to himself. Okay, what does this mean? He is reporting to himself. In which scenario employee can report to himself? Any idea, guys? When he is the superior of the organization. Steve Morgan is the CEO of the organization, where above CEO there is no employee. So at least one organization in every company will report to himself, because there is, see what I mentioned, that hey, there is a concept of management hierarchy, but management hierarchy will always come, but in every management hierarchy there will be one employee who will be reporting himself, because we don't have any employee above Steve Morgan.
But because he is the superior and or CEO of company.
Correct. Yes. Okay. Now let's say I wanted to look out for Betty Louie. Okay, I go to Betty Louise profile. Now here is the profile. Anything in blue is drillable. Now you see here it says, hey, Betty Louise is reporting to Logan McNeil. Now if I wanted to go to Logan McNeil, I directly click on Logan McNeil's profile. See, now did I use the search bar to look out for Logan? No, I simply clicked on. So this is an object. So what happens? Worker is an object. Now this is a worker and it is an object. Each object will have these three dots. What does this three dot mean?
Related actions.
This related actions, correct. So if I go to related actions, means now see what I'm doing. I wanted to see compensation of Joy Banks. So I go to compensation and I say view compensation. So what happens? I am minimizing this search bar and I'm navigating. So Workday is object oriented. You see, I clicked on the worker object and from worker object, I'm able to see the compensation. If I go to grade, I click on grade, I'll see the grade information. And now guys, you see that, does everyone has this access? No. It depends upon the access you carry. Since
based on the security actions.
Correct. I logged in as Logan McNeil, and that is the reason I'm able to perform all of these items. So I'm looking out for Joy Bank's compensation. So it says, hey, Joy Banks is getting, this is the salary, she's getting car allowance, she's also getting mobile allowance, and this is the frequency, and this is my amount. So you navigate to this part. Since Workday is object oriented, go to, this is worker object, go to worker object. Just now I've opened compensation. I can even drill down further and look out for personal data. See, view personal data. So what happens, guys? In the related actions, I have several other child table and I can navigate. Okay. Okay. So in this search bar, I have look out for worker. I can look out for BP : hire. BP stands for hire. So I can look out for hire business process. So any item, if you want to search, this is the only way out to look out for the information. Since it is object oriented, you can minimize use of search bar and you can use prefixes or you can use object thing to navigate. And this comes with an experience. So in our upcoming sessions, we will see that how to minimize this use of search bar and navigate to the profile. We will see that. Okay, so in the search bar, it is a predictive search, and from the search bar, you can search any item that should be there in Workday. If it is there, you can look out for the information. Then I see this 4 square, it says quick access. Now what happens? Similar concept. I am HR partner. I need a report where I want to report. I need to run a report, but what happens every time I want to type the report in the search bar to get the output? Let's suppose I'm looking out for this. Find worker. Okay. So find worker is a report. And I say that, hey, rather than me typing here, and I need this worker in day out. So can I have this worker as a shortcut, as a quick access? Yes, we can. So I go here. I say edit. And I have added find worker. Similarly, I can add any other report. Compensation. Okay, done. So this is my quick access. So quick access, rather than me typing the name here, I can simply go to quick access and say, hey, find worker. So what happens? System will run the report. So there are multiple ways to achieve the same activity. Now, since I'm looking out for find worker, let's take a look at find worker. Now guys, this is Workday report, and I mentioned yesterday that Workday reporting is the key feature of Workday success. Okay, now this is my find worker. This is the report of search type. Search type means it says, hey, in this tenant, there are 487 employees. Okay, overall 487 employees are there in the organization. And here is my facet search. Means now let's say I am a person who is taking care of talent in the organization, and I wanted to see employee coming from New York and working as a sales professional. So what I do, I use this facet search and I say that, hey, let me filter on location. look out for New York employee, and their job profile should be sales. I go here. See, I clicked on New York. It is giving me 32 records. So there are 32 employees who are coming from New York. All the employees details are here. And what is my second criteria? Let me put age criteria. So I say, look out for employee and show me the employee who are coming from 41 to 50 years of age. Now see, there are 7 employees who are coming from New York and following under 41 to 50 age group category. Okay. Now I say that, okay, let me compare these two workers. I wanted to compare these two workers for a new project assignment. So I say compare. And here you can compare that what is their current compensation, what is their pay segment, what is the performance rating, what all things. Again, it says this is, I am not habitual to use on the portrait version. Let me look out for table view. In table view also we can get it. Okay, and you see that, guys, this is a delivered report and you can see the quality of report. Did I do any programming changes and any kind of settings? No, this is a delivered report and I can play around with it. Okay, so again, let me go back to find worker report, and this find worker report is very handy when you go for any talent or you look out for any talent information based on your criteria. So criteria are listed here. Based on the criteria, I can look out for the information. Since it is object oriented, let's say I wanted to see the detail of Adam Carlton. I say see in the new tab. See, now I can see Adam Carlton's profile. Did I use search bar to look out for his information? No, I simply click into the another tab and I can see his profile. So here I have all the segments. These are menus. I say, hey, let me see the contact information. I go to contact, emergency contact, supporting role. I can move on to that. So that is my navigations. The first thing what we do when we have access, we look out for compensation for of our peers, our superiors. We do that. So we see all this information. Okay. So yes, I can add any such item. The limit is 10. You can have 10 reports as a shortcut, not more than that. Right beside this, I have Workday Assistant. Now, what is Workday Assistant? Workday Assistant is not active for this tenant because this is a practice environment. But Workday Assistant will be come in picture when you say that, hey, I want to log a ticket or raise an incident with Workday, that your tenant got crashed or not able to use tenant, your login or any issues where you see that there you have to inform or raise an incident. So it is a ticket kind of thing where you can raise your concern with Workday saying that this is what my issue is. So that is a ticketing tool. Now I see here 25, I see 15. What are these? So Workday is giving, when you see, I'm hovering over my mouse and it says there are 25 items, which is notification and inbox. What is the difference between notification and inbox? This can be an interview question. So I'll say. Now you might have received several emails saying that, hey, please welcome so-and-so employee coming from this location and working at this position. So you receive an email, right? Does that email like need any of your actions? No, right? That is a system generated notification and that email doesn't seek any action. It says just for the information, you need to know that, hey, new employee is hired. So notification in Workday is FYI, just for the information. How you generate like 25, how I get the notification? Is it like any random notification I can get it? No, notification will generate from business process. Okay, now what is business process? I am hiring an employee, an HR partner approves the hire, says, hey, this employee is getting hired in the organization. So when I say approve, I am saying that send the notification to all the employees, inform all the employees that so-and-so employee is going to hire. So what happens? I am generating a notification on the process. So notification is just FYI. I cannot action. There is no action. It is just saying that, hey, this report you're looking out for is now available. You can do that part. Then what is inbox? Inbox means I say whenever I'm hiring an employee, the compensation should go to compensation partner. How would compensation partner will be informed that, hey, there is an item for your action? So all the actionable items will come under inbox. And now guys, there are 15 items under Logan McNeil's inbox. Means Logan McNeil have to action on 15 items. Okay. So all the actionable items, see here is the actionable item, approve, send back, flow. So all actionable item, again, actionable item, it is not automatically generated. It comes from business process, and all the actionable items will fall under inbox. All the notification, FYI, will come under notification. So this can be an interview question if you're going for a Workday consultant job as a fresher. Okay, can be. Okay, under notification, I see action means these are the items where Logan McNeil have to action. Archive. What does an archive means? Means the items where Logan McNeil have already actioned will show under archive. So it says from last 30 days. So you will say that no, what if I need to report on the archive item past or more than 30 days, then you can create a report. So you can create a report which will list all the archive items. So archive means all the items which you have already actioned will come under archive. Action items means, now let's suppose I have 200 items. Same concept, Workday says no problem. You can filter. You can say that, hey, let me see, is there any compensation item? So says no. The 15 item which you see, there is no, not even a single item which is category of compensation. Let me see to-dos. There is no to-do. Let's say overdue. No items. Let's say favorite. No. Let me see if I can make out. Okay, it says recruiting category. I have one item which is coming from recruiting category. So I can even create my category also. Okay, guys, this is just a small assignment. You can create your own filter and add it to your inbox. So depending upon your filter, your inbox item will be filtered. Okay. Newest on the top, oldest on the top, just a sorting order is here. There is one more icon, refresh. If I'm not getting a latest item, I'll say refresh. So what happens? I'll see the latest item. It sees that there is one item for a feedback for Betty Louis. See, just now it received. Go here. There is one more item called my delegation. Okay, guys, any idea what is delegation?
Delegation is nothing but who can to delegate the task. It means who delegate to another person.
To assign the task to the other person.
Okay, and which scenario? What is the real-time example? Like which scenario I can do this? Just a real, see, definition is correct, but we need to understand where we can use, in which scenario we should be using this delegation. I see Jacob has raised hand. Go ahead, Jacob. Jacob, you want to add something? Okay, so see, whatever we are doing, we need to make sure that what is the real-time use of the functionality. Delegation by the name itself, okay, I am delegating my work to somebody. But what is a real-time example? There are several instances, I'll take only one. Let's suppose I am going on planned leave. Okay, I say that I'm going on leave for 10 days and I will not be handy with my system and I want my peer to complete the task on behalf of me. Now what happens? Let's suppose I am the key person in the organization, okay, and I am responsible for approving the transactions, okay. So if I am the key person, if I'm not available in the organization for 10 days, then it really becomes tough for organization to complete the transaction. So what I'll say, no problem, I'm going on a planned leave. I'll assign somebody my delegate. I see that, hey, Manthan can take over me and all the items whenever needed, Manthan will approve the transaction on behalf of me. Guys, as of now, we are only focusing on the navigation, but all of these things is to be configured. It is not like automatic. Workday says no, delegation works in this way. Workday will give me a concept. It's up to me how I wanted to use the delegation. It should follow an approval. It is not like that I can delegate my task to CEO. No, right? There has to be a process. There has to be a restriction. It is not like that I can say, hey, CEO, please approve my transaction on behalf of me. I'm going on leave. No. So all such thing is part of configuration. Today, we are only focusing on the navigation, but when we deep dive into configuration, we will see that how we can configure delegate process. Okay. Let me see chat box.
Hey, Manthan, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Hey, just to step back to the email inbox on the top right. Do most organizations disable that and then use their own company inbox so that employees have to only look at one place for the items?
Okay, now let me add it to this. Now, guys, since this is Workday, so all the item will come under Workday. But now I say I am coming from a production background. Okay, I am not in front of my system. But what happens now, since this is a training environment, this notification will not go to your personal email ID or your work email ID. But in production, let's suppose you're working in production, and if there is a notification where I have to action something, that notification will also come onto my work email ID. Okay, and from there I can navigate. But yes, task I can complete only login into Workday. It is not like that from Outlook I'll be able to complete. In Outlook, I'll get this link. When I click on this link, it will take me to this part. So same notification inbox item will also be shared or will also be getting onto your work or a personal email ID depending upon the configuration. In this tenant, all the emails and notifications are disabled for your work or personal email ID. But in real time, in production, you will get notification onto your work email ID.
Yep, thank you.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So delegation, we'll focus more when we talk about business processes, but now we are just navigating. Okay. Now, I don't want to be on this page, so I go here and it will take me to the landing page. So we just covered the ribbon part of it. Now, announcement. What is an announcement? And what is difference between announcement and notification?
Announcement means company, like a company needs to announce any new hires. It means announcements. And notifications means it is like kind of any reports are running or pop-up messages or notifications. Like for example, any new hire position is in hold or it is in some data, some like any integration is filed.
Correct.
Like reminding things is called a notification.
Yes. So any process related thing, whenever you are processing something, the information will come under notification. So notification is process driven. Then what is an announcement? Now I wanted to make an announcement that next week, all the employees from New York have to come for booster dose. Now this is an announcement. There is no process. I am just having an information pasted onto the announcement saying that, hey, next week, all the New York employees have to come for booster dose. I'm a multinational company. I'm operating from India. I'm operating from US, but I am creating an announcement only for New York employee. I can do that part. So I can have my announcement created based on condition where I can have my content. I can have external link. I can have who is the announcement, all such information. I can do that part. So announcement is not a process driven. Notification is a process driven. Okay. Announcement, I can have any point in time, any random thing, but if I'm not running any process, system will not generate notification. Okay. And I can have any information in the announcement. Just a navigation, but yes, we will see how to configure an announcement when we'll talk about dashboard. Currently, just navigations. Okay. Then I see there are 16 items. And guys, whatever I see is for Logan McNeil. For you, it might change. So this is all the items which I'm exploring is based on user security access. Okay, it says there are 16 items. Okay. Now again, this 16 item is also minimizing my search option. Okay, minimizing my search option. It says, hey, if you are looking out for compensation, so these are small worklet. Okay, so all of these are worklet. What are worklets? Worklets can accommodate report, can accommodate tasks. Now let's suppose I am the CEO of an organization, and I see that since I don't want to view employees profile, I'm interested in collating all the information and seeing the information in one go. So I say that, hey, let me look out for compensation dashboard, see what happens in the compensation dashboard. Okay, I can locate for the task, I can look out for the thing, but I'm focusing more on the report. See, dashboard is more for an analytic purpose. If I say I wanted to see the diversity in my organization based on location, I wanted to see how many male and female are there in New York, how many male female are there in Mumbai. So I can create such dashboard. And the beauty of this dashboard is, you see, in one click, I am running 5 reports. Okay, you say, where is 5 reports? This is 1 report, 2 report, 3, 4, 5. See what happens? All of these are report. Now I can search for a report called cost to move employee. See, cost to move employee below midpoint to midpoint. So this is one individual report. So if I'm looking out for a search bar, I can run only 1 report. But the beauty of the dashboard is like, in 1 click, see, in 1 click, I'm able to run 5 reports in one go. And this kind of report is very handy when you do your analysis. Okay, so from here you can get to know about that, what performance paying UP, compare ratio is there, what is the potential, what is the market position, what are the counts. So you can create such reports. So all of these items are report, and you consolidated all of this 5 report into a worklet and you added that. So what happens now? I don't have to memorize the 5 name of the report. I can simply click on dashboard and it will open the report. So what are the worklets? Worklets are of 2 types: Workday delivered and customized. So custom ones we have created. There are Workday delivered items where Workday gives you that, hey, you get the product, we will give you this worklet. But who determines what I want? Let's suppose Logan McNeil says, I don't want compensation dashboard. Can I do that? Can I control this view? Yes, I can control this from their gear icon. So I go to configure application. And in case I want to add or remove, I can do that part. If I want to add, I can remove. If I want to add anything new, I can do that part. Okay, what is a limit? I can have 20 application, not more than 20. So this application on, let's suppose I shared 25 application, but Workday says I will allow only 20 items. So top 20 item will show up here and remaining 4 will not be showing up. Okay. What is the other part? When you run a worklet, if your worklet is not running within 30 seconds, then your report will not run. So there are limitations. I can accommodate only 20 worklets, and that each worklet, if it is taking more than 30 seconds, then report will not run. Okay, so these are the things which we have to come, and these are the interview related concerns. Yeah, Jacob, go ahead.
Yeah, so here is worklet and application used interchangeably in this view?
Means
like if you scroll to the top, yeah, if you scroll up, it says applications 16 items, right? Is that the same as worklets on this view?
Yes, yes. Application means all of these are application, but these applications are nothing but an worklet.
Okay. And if you drill down, and if you drill down also, that's a worklet, a custom worklet.
Custom worklet, yes.
Okay.
So what a custom worklet can accommodate? Custom worklet can have reports, can have tasks. Now see, this is a task. How would I know? Let me click request compensation change and see what happens. See, it requests the task and look out for the same item. Request, sorry. Copy, no problem. Yes, wait. Yeah. Change. Task. Request compensation is a task. So worklet can be of report, task, and report. So you can have external items. So let me look out for, now this is custom one. Let me look out a Workday delivered worklet. Now I'll go into recruiting, and I don't know the components of recruiting. So what happens if you don't know? It really becomes tough to search. If you don't know what to search, then how are you going to search? So Workday says no problem, no pain. I will have a worklet created. Click on recruiting, and Workday will list all the commonly used content. See, actions are the item where I can create, view all the reports. So Workday says under recruiting, these are the actionable items which you can look out for. So even though if I don't know the name of the task, I can simply go to recruiting and look out for the item. Okay. So what happens by doing this? I am purely and I'm minimizing the search bar. Okay. Make sense?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Okay. So now here also I see an inbox. Here also I see an inbox. Guys, both the items are similar in nature. If I click, it will take me to the same inbox. Okay. Now we talk about ribbon. We talked about all the items which we see on the landing page. Let's see what is the profile view. So I click on Logan McNeil's photo, and I see all of these items. So we'll go over one by one. Let me go to retention analysis. Okay. If I click on home, it will take me to the landing page. From here also, it will take me to the landing page, home. So there are multiple ways to achieve to the. Okay, let's move on. My account, very easy concept. What is the organization ID? Change. Right, whatever item I see for Logan McNeil. So change preference means you can define your date format, you can define your time format, you can define your language, which all language you want. So again, a user specification I can have under change preference. So it says what is the time format, what is the preferred currency I wanted to see. When I search, I wanted to search for all of Workday. So categories all of Workday. I say no. Whenever I am searching anything in the search bar, focus on the common. What happens? Whenever I'm searching, it should give me a common items. What is your mobile carrier? So all of these are the preferred thing which I can update from my profile. Again, you can just navigate through this to see that what are the options which are available under preferences. I go to my profile view, I go to my account. Public preferences, this is a recent update in the last version saying that I can even hide my military service and sexual orientation from other employees. So you have, as an employee, I have the right whether I want to show my sexual orientation or a military services to other person. So I can say that hide from public view, profile, show to all. So I can define that, but this is my self-service. So whatever item I see under are self-service. Okay. Sign-on history. Very important part. I would like to highlight this sign-on history. Now, guys, whenever we are going to give you a tenant access, when you log in into a tenant, your IP address is going to be tracked. Okay. In case, let's suppose you are using more than one application or more than one system to log in into a tenant, we will be able to see that part because we do have a sign-on history option where we'll be able to audit that which employee or which person is logged in from there and what is the IP address. So whenever you are like, if you're using a tenant access, make sure that you're using one system. In case if that system is not available, make sure that you inform support that, hey, the system we are using is not working now, you are using different system. Or else because tenant access ID with multiple system is a continuously monitoring that. So please do not do such kind of things where we have to discontinue your tenant service because tenant is being a real concern for us where we highly motivate everyone to use one system so that we have a healthy tenant access. Okay. So just for FYI, this is not part of our core concepts and navigations. Okay. So from here, I can get into the tenant access. Okay. Now Workbench. Now let's see what is Workbench. Okay. When I click on Workbench, I see here earlier I had 16 items. Now I only see 12. and I don't see announcement, I only see inbox. Now, what is Workbench, guys? Workbench is for Workday consultant. Now, who is Workday consultant? The person who is taking care of configuration are the Workday consultant. So, HR partner, compensation partner are not the Workday consultant. They are the one who are going to use the system for transactional purpose. We are not going to use system for transactional purpose, right? We are going to use application for configuration. So Workbench are for person who is going to configure. And now if I'm going to configure in Workbench, Workday will show only Workday delivered application. All of these worklets are Workday delivered. Okay. Now if I say configure business process, what happens? I can see all of these items. I see that security and audit. See, there are these reports which I can use for audit. There are these items which I can run a report. So all of these are Workday delivered. So Workbench will give me Workday delivered options. Okay. Nothing much. It is similar to my landing page, but it will only have wherever I can action. From the worklet where I can action, it will only show that item. Action means, guys, I can input something. I can simply run a report. Running a report is not an action item. Action item means when you enter something into a tenant, that is action. Okay. So worklet will always show all the items. I can action on no inbox item. I can action on any of this application. When I say action, what does that mean? Business process. See, schedule business process alert notification. I can action. I clicked on it and I can action on it. See, I can create something. So that is all the action item will show up under Workbench. Okay, then what is sitemap? Guys, give me a moment. I'll take a glass of water. I'm getting cough. Sorry. Guys, sorry for this, but thank you for the cooperation. Okay, so I see here a sitemap. What does a sitemap mean? Now, how would Logan McNeil will get to know that what all access she has, right? Because let's suppose I am a new employee who is hired into the organization. Okay, so I don't know what all access I have because my access varies from organization to organization. One organization says you can see the compensation of other employee. Some organization says you cannot see. So how would I know that what all access I have? All such information will part of my sitemap. Here are the categories. Depending upon the categories, let's say compensation. So it says in compensation category, there are these reports which I can run. These are the items which I can use as part of compensation. Anything in blue is drillable. Drillable means I can go to and I can open into the new tab. Okay, so I can have that information here. Okay, so there is one question that are Workbench item defined by obviously whatever I see it's defined by security administrator. It is not like that if I want to show it is only for Workday consultant. So it is all the access which I see here all the items which we see on through our landing page is purely defined by the security administrator, the person who takes care of Workday security. So they have the rights to define who can see what. Okay, and we will see that part, how to configure such thing. We have a concept of security where we are going to see that how we can control the view of the process, control the view of the employees information. We will see that part. But yes, such things are being handled by security administrator. Okay, so what happens in my sitemap? It will give me category, and based on the category, it will list all the items where I can action. So it says in terms of compensation, all of these report I can access. I can work on all of these items. Okay, then I see, okay, favorite. What is favorite? Now I see that I need 10 report in my day-to-day out. Now guys, there is a difference between quick access and favorite. In quick access, I can only add report. In favorite, I can add any item. Any item means any task, any report, any process I can add as a favorite. So what happens? Guys, all such information is avoiding. I am minimizing the use of search bar. If I'm adding items in my search bar, if I'm adding items in my favorite, what I'm doing? I'm avoiding the use of the search bar. So Workday says there are multiple ways to reach out to one item. So there are multiple ways. I can look out for my favorite from here, go to my favorite, and I can add, I can update, I can remove any item, any report, any task. See, I can add task, I can add report, favorite custom report, shared custom report. I can have any such item in my favorite, and I can click on here. Create custom org is my favorite org. See, I can directly go here, and I can search the item from here also. Custom org, and I can look out from here. So I can add any of these items as part of my favorite, where favorite is again a kind of a shortcut. Okay, audit. What is audit? What does a general terminology of audit? What is the definition? Nothing to do with Workday. What is a word audit means?
Similar to sitemap, it is like any reports and tasks.
Yeah, but then why there is a need of audit and sitemap? If I have everything in sitemap, then why would I have one more option to confuse the user?
To make
Depends
sure
on
to,
Sorry?
Depends on the security.
to make sure whatever the process was defined are followed or not.
What is the word audit means? Forget
Really
about the definition
check,
of
double
Workday.
check.
What is audit?
Double check that things are done according to the standard.
Exactly.
Set standards.
Whether you are adhering to the compliances. Let's suppose I am hiring an employee and I haven't taken the approval, but I've hired the employee. You can have, you skip something. You say that there is one item which should not be skipped, but you skip. You incomplete that transaction, you give wrong information, it doesn't follow the process. So audit means to keep a log. So Workday has there are reports, there are tasks where you can go for a log. So as I mentioned, single sign-on, or sorry, sign-on history. What does that mean? That is for audit purpose. If I wanted to audit, let's see that how, from which all system Logan McNeil have logged in into the system. So I'm just running an audit report to see that from where she have logged in. If so, audit is for validating and confirming that hey, the process which I have used are being used in a right way. Just for audit, what we do in audit, normal audit also, you validate, you cross-check whether you followed the norms or not. Same thing in Workday, there are delivered audit reports, there are delivered things, there are tasks which we can use to audit the thing. Let me go back to compensation if I have, or application, we will run one report. It says audit change event with incorrect current organization. So it says that, hey, I wanted to see. So it says, no, there is no organization with incorrect organization. So what happens? All of the reports which I see under audit is for my auditing purpose, seeing that, hey, whether I misuse the data or I have not followed the parameters. Okay, so all Workday delivered thing, I can even give this access to user or not, that varies. But the purpose of audit is to have run a report to make sure that you followed all the process. Okay, drive. What is a drive? Google Drive definition everyone knows. What we do in Google Drive?
We store our data and files.
Data.
You store data and you share with the users, right?
Right.
Okay. So
Drive also is nothing but to share any email with some person in Workday, like any person in Workday.
correct. So in Workday, let's suppose I am the HR partner and I wanted to share one compliance document. I can share that document who are there in Workday, means whose profile are there in Workday. I can share only with them. I cannot share the document with outside of the world. Means let's suppose I am working from Samsung and you are working for Amazon. I cannot share my document to Amazon Workday. No, it should be within the same tenant. Then I can do that part. What you do in Drive, you can share files, you can share media file, you can update, you can delete, you can give edit permission, you can give view only permission, you can give only comment permission. Same concept in Workday. I see here total reward modeling, open. Sorry guys. These are the documents. If I click here, it says share. So it will give me whom this item is shared. I can, who has the access? Only Teresa Serrano has the access where we can edit. I say no problem. Let me add this document to Steve Morgan as well. Okay, Steve Morgan is part of the this organization, and I say, hey, please share this item with Steve Morgan and give him only view access. Done. So I can upload, I can add, I can do that part. Same concept in Google Drive. If you guys are familiar with Google Drive, I don't think so this will be a tough ask. Same concept, you can do that part.
Yes.
Okay, what is documentation? Now, we all know Workday is a huge application, and even I don't know all the concept of Workday. What if you need to learn a new concept or you need to see any? Did you guys try searching any concept or any document in Workday? In Google, sorry. Anything in Google, and did you get, or you have been successful to get any information in Workday? Any data you are looking out for Workday related onto Google? Did you guys able to get the success? No, right?
No.
Why? Because Workday says all the document related to Workday, if you want, you can get it via community. So each user who is working for customer or partner or for Workday, the central repository of the document is Workday community. You need to have access to Workday community to get the document. So if I click on documentation, it will open my community, and from there I can look out for any information. So documentation will take me to the community where I can search for any information. What is help? Similar to assistance. If I stuck and I need Workday to intervene into my incident, I can use help. Assistance recovery. Now, assistance recovery means if I am creating one report and I close the browser, let's say I close the browser, what happens? If the data is not get saved, that will be there in recovery assistance. And if I say, let me open this recovery assistance, it will take me to the page where I have abruptly closed the page. See, now it will open the page where I have stuck or where I have opening. So it will give me that information. Logan McNeil is a common user. Somebody has used from their system and I am looking into it. When I close my application, it will show me that part. So recovery assistance means in case you now report, it will not show up. Any item, if you are task, you're creating something and you close that, all such things will come under recovery assistance. Okay, so by clicking on recovery assistance, you can get the thing which you are doing and you can continue from there. This is something new which was released in 2020 R1 version. Okay, let's see, did we? Okay, so all such items are part of my self-service. Okay, now one question. Can we have an employee to change his own compensation? Okay, first of all, tell me, what is self-service? Interview question. What is self-service?
We can edit our name, phone number, address, or those kind of information.
That is self-service. Okay, so
Applying
can
for
compensation?
leaves.
We cannot change.
Compensation is a self-service?
No, compensation cannot be changed.
Yeah, Okay.
Or
I can apply for time off. I can apply for leaves. I can change my personal information. All such items are my self-service, but I cannot change my own compensation. If I'm a manager, I can change compensation of all other employees, but I cannot change my own compensation. That is not a self-service. So here I can go into that information. View profile. Let me click on view profile. So I am Logan McNeil. I am looking out for my own profile. So I say that, let me see what compensation I am getting. So I go to compensation. I go to compensation tab. And I see that this is what I'm total salary and allowance. My salaries consist of all of these components. What is my performance rating? I go to my MC performance rating. Time off, the items, the leave which I have applied for will show up under time off. So these are my menus for my Logan McNeil, and I see actions from here. I can locate to my actions. Okay. Let's see what all things we have in our business navigation. Did we cover all of them? Home, inbox, notification, workbench, sitemap. So guys, any question before we move on to any item?
Hey, Manthan, I have a follow-up on the audit. So we talked about auditing of different steps or processes, right, by the user that's logged. Does that cover security audit also? Each and every step that the user might have taken, can it be configured at that place? Manthan, are you there?
Sorry. I think I was having some issue with my headphones. Yes, guys. Any concerns on the content or the topic we have covered?
Hey, Manthan.
Yeah.
Hey, Manthan, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, so just had a question on the audit feature. So is that similar to the security audit also, where each and every step that a user has taken can be configured to be logged at that?
Yes. Okay. So let's go to Logan McNeil and see that what all activity Logan McNeil has done so far. Okay, I wanted to audit. Now let's I have got an incident saying that, hey, Logan McNeil is I wanted to monitor what Logan McNeil is doing or what she has done. I go to actions. Each item will have an option called, okay, let me see. There is an audit, view audit trail. Again, this is a report. It says, let me see what Logan McNeil has done. I don't want to see from 23. It will be a huge list. Let's say from 28 till date. Let me see what all activity Logan McNeil has done. So there are 346 items where Logan McNeil have used and what all activity she has done. Titan, added, let's see. Personal information, just now I've opened for personal information, security, created, what she has done. So here, this audit trail will give me what all activity she has done, date, time. All these things is a logged in system. So this is my audit. I can check, right? If she has misused, though she is a security, but I don't want her to do any security changes. If she has done, I can track from here. So that is the reason whenever any user does something wrong, everything is logged and you can get into the system and get into a trap that, hey, you are not allowed to do this thing, but you still are doing that. Okay.
Oh, okay. One more follow-up on the documentation tab. I'm kind of used to people books that's out there. Is this documentation restricted through the community website for Workday?
Yeah, it is only restricted to Workday community. You need to have Workday community access, and to get community access, you have to work for Workday or partner or customer who are using Workday. Then you will get community access, and from that community, you can search any data, any data, anything related to Workday, any new releases, any questions, forum. If I need any assistance, so there are several other users who can be of help with you. If you need any assistance, you stuck somewhere, you can post your questions. So it is kind of a blog along with the documentation, but restricted to Workday community.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So I joined late. I didn't have the access to the meeting, but can you go back to that first screen before this?
This one?
No.
This one?
Yeah, this one. So what you showed us now, are you going to the individual employee's profile and showing us what access they have, like in their inbox, notification, Workbench, or is this from
I think we have already done that exercise. Maybe you have joined late, but all the items which you see here, we went in detail of all such items. We had a definition. We have seen how it looks like. So what I would request you, since we have a recorded session, so since I have not done any configuration so far, it was just a basic navigation. So I would urge you to, right after the session, get back to a recording and go over this component. I have already covered all of them. Now I am having a Q&A session where I'm checking if you need more clarity of any of the content. So I'll go over it.
No, I understand. But so this home inbox notification, because I used Workday also actually. Is it like on the individual's profile that this is what they have?
Yes, this varies from, so if you see here, Logan McNeil has.
Yeah, so she's an employee of like.
So this is my profile view. See, I am logged in as Logan McNeil. So whatever item I see and the announcement or the application or the item, this is for me as a Logan McNeil. I have this view. This may vary. This user to user.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
No, that was my question. I just want to check. So it's from this lady's profile. That's where we're navigating what access she has, what she can do.
Exactly. Because see, I am logged in as Logan McNeil, so I am authorized to work as Logan McNeil. That is the reason whatever option I have shown is dedicated to Logan McNeil. Yes, but slowly and steadily, since Logan McNeil is an administrator also, consultant also, then I see what all other items Logan McNeil can do. But we will see when we talk about configuration. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Okay, so let's see. We have a small activity. Let's see.
Manthan?
Yeah.
Rosalyn here. Actually, I have not logged into my LMS. So I can find all these things in the LMS, no? The recording I can.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I'm not working on LMS now as you're, I'm just listening to you and seeing what you're doing. So like tomorrow I can go to the LMS and do this activities, right?
Correct. You can get into your LMS. So if not, also you have a support contact if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just put one liner, or I will again show you where you can post your consent. So on LMS, there is a discussion. Let's say right after your LMS, you are coming across any consent. So how to get back there? So there may be a lag. It is not like that you're putting a question now and you can expect a reply in 1 or 2 minutes. It takes maybe 12 hours of time, but you will be responded.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so let's see what we have seen in terms of our activity.
Manthan, quick follow-up. Do you know typically when all of us get the tenant access?
Unfortunately, I am not taking care of tenant access. So what I'll do, if that is the case, what best I can do is I can put for your concern towards the support team, but I am not owning or taking care of tenant access.
I have raised the ticket in the morning, but still I think it's not.
No problem. I'll pass it on. As I said, we have received the access, but since of security, we need to provision. We need to make sure that we are not duplicating the account. So that thing is going on. Once we complete this exercise, then probably you all will be given an access in one go. Okay. So just wait for 1 or 2 days, I would request. If not, then discussion board support team is there to help you out.
No problem.
Okay. So let's see. We'll quickly go on to the activity and see if we are able to answer it. What is the name of the icon that allows you to view information or perform tasks on landing page? Now let's go to landing page. Okay, read the question. What is the name of the icon that allows you to view information or perform task on landing page, where I can look out for any task.
Search bar, search.
Yes, from here I can look out for compensation change, task, report. From here I can look out for any information. True or false? Search allows you to use partial search, abbreviations, and misspelled words.
Yeah, true. It will come abbreviations of
True.
If I am typing com instead of compensation, still my Workday look out for the information. True.
Yes.
What is the name and location of the icon you should select when you want to act on or make changes to an object?
Name, like view profile.
If I go here,
like view profile.
Okay. What is this item called? Related actions. If I say go to three dots, so this
Related
is my
actions.
object. If
Related actions.
Related actions.
The object, it is a related actions. Security and business process are considered cross application and impact all Workday solutions. Tricky one.
No, all, but within the organization.
Within the Workday partner or customer.
So security and business process are considered cross applications and impact all Workday solutions. Yes, right. If I say I don't want employee to see any other employee's name, security, right? I can do that part. Other organization says no, I want other employee to see the other employee's name, but not compensation. So yes, security and business process impact Workday solution. If I don't give you the access, you are not able to see that information. And security and business process varies from organization to organization. Okay, so this is true. Okay, now I don't have anything to add here, but let me add one more question since I've already explained that part. But let's see what is the difference between announcements and notification.
Announcement is not a business process. Notification is a business process, and it is just for a FYI. We don't have to do any actions on that.
Exactly. Let me see what. Okay, sitemap and audit. Difference between sitemap and audit.
Sitemap, we will know what are the access we have.
And tasks.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sitemap, we will have an we will know whatever the access we are having, and auditing is like we are compliance with the process, and compliance with the processes of the company.
Can I share a document with outside of the world who's not into Workday?
No, we cannot.
No.
Okay. Is there a multiple items? Let's suppose if I want to avoid this search bar, Workday allows. Is there a multiple ways to do the same activity? Can I do that?
Yes.
And what all things I can add under Worklet? So
we can
require voltage optional work rights.
Okay. And
we can add
optional Worklet, what all things can be part of it? Means
we can do task, report, and business processes.
We can have report, we can have tasks, we can have items in the Worklet. And can this application is a configurable? If I don't want, can I remove or add?
Yes, we can do that. But 3 worklets will be there from the Workday, but rest we can definitely add and remove. Max we can do 20, I think.
What all? Okay, which item controls the view? Like if I'm seeing 16 items, how I can see why I am seeing 16 items? When you log in, you will see 20 items or 10 items. What controls the view?
That configuration.
Security.
Yeah.
If I am authorized to see the information, I will see that. If not, then I won't be able to. Okay. Okay, guys. So that brings us to the closure of this core concepts and basic navigation. But yes, from next week onwards, we will try to stretch the session maybe for 2 hours, just giving you an heads up. And from next week, now we just know how to navigate into the system. But from next week onwards, we'll do a configuration. We will come up with a requirement. and then customer will give us a requirement, and how we have to update that requirement into the system, we will see that information. So next week will be a crucial session where we will be starting configurational things. Okay, PPT things is like very rarely we are going to use presentation. Mostly we will use our configurational skills. Okay. Okay, guys. Then stay safe and healthy. And
one thing, sorry to interrupt. Like the 26th, we have one section, no, and yesterday one section still not uploaded. Recordings is not there in LMS.
No problem. As I said that I don't take care of this part, but still I'll pass it on your concern to the team that recording should be uploaded. It takes 12 to 24 hours. So I would urge just wait for 1 or 2 hours and maybe support team will update both the sessions. Okay. So I'll take care of that.
Question. So I have an interview next week for Workday. Is there any way I can have a meeting with you? Do you do that? Like to just
I don't think so that is allowed, but there is a way. Reach out to, because it is like you cannot directly communicate with me. If you need to have a session with me, maybe reach out to support or put it into the discussion board. I'm sharing my screen and there is a discussion board. Put it here that your concern and things. See, I see that there is somebody has raised a concern saying that. So maybe you can put it here and let's see what is the process for that. But I'm not sure what is the procedure to get this done. But if you have a concern, go ahead and mention it here.
Okay. One more thing also. So did you say you are in India and working to the US company? So because I'm applying for jobs in Europe, actually, I'm in DC. So is it possible for this kind of opportunities?
Yes.
Like, can you work?
You were there in yesterday's session? I did say that now US market is getting saturated because most of the customers are already on Workday. Now the Workday focus is on Asia and Europe. So don't worry. See, just to get a hands-on, just type your location and look out for Workday jobs in my location. You will automatically get the number of opportunity. Just do that and get your confidence.
Okay. Just quickly, we have to go. But if the US is saturated, so it would not be hard for us to find jobs in the US? Like when you say saturated, is it the implementation? So can we find job just because we have Workday experience, just to help them navigate the reporting and stuff like that?
Is purely the way you take care of your interview and how you cope up with the thing. So if you know the concept, there is no harm and you will be able to get it.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So I'll have to rush now and I'm gonna stop the session. But when we meet next, we will start with our configurational things.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.